Hey guys, welcome to the show before the show. Good morning for people coming in. Remember to like, subscribe, share the show. We appreciate it. Where's my... Hey Joe, as you're coming in, can you grab my water, please, on the cabinet? Thank you, dude.
Like a background? Yeah, I am too. Just like a little. Yeah, just, I hear it too. A little static.
I made it worse. Whatever you were.
Yeah.
How about that?
Still there. No, it was worse. Then it went away. It's like it went for a little bit, then it went away.
Yeah.
But now we still have what we had.
It's a slight static.
Hey, good morning to you, Tanya, Mike. Like, subscribe, share the show. We appreciate it, guys. Thank you for jumping in.
I think it's this.
Yep.
It's just ever so slight. And it's really light now.
Sorry, Vic, it's not morning for everyone. You just make me laugh.
That's right, because she's from the UK. Matter of fact, what is the time difference?
They blocked puberty blockers
Yeah, they
in
did.
the UK. How
They
about
sure
that?
did.
That ultra liberal, hardcore place.
And then they blocked it. And here we are in the good US of A, and we still have all this stuff going on. It is the show before the show. So remember to like, share, send the show to a friend this morning on whatever platform you're on. If you're listening after the live, you can also send it as well. You can send it whether you're watching in video form or audio form. Send it to a friend. We appreciate when you do that.
Yeah. Good morning, Bendy, Mike, Kimberly. Yeah, the 14-year-old was stabbed. Jennings, St. Louis.
Yes,
Another
so much.
And there's another. I guess because she didn't die. I don't remember hearing about this anywhere in the local news. We've got another. I repeat, another woman in from out of town. She's going to live, but this happened February 26th. Was another innocent bystander in St. Louis and was caught up in a shootout that we never heard about. Had you heard about that?
No, I had not heard about that. And it's interesting that you found it, on something that wasn't even local.
That was sent to me.
Yeah. You know, and after I after you sent that to me, I'm like, maybe I did hear about that. And if I did, I guess I'm getting desensitized at how much crime there is going on. Hey, Joe, my computer's down now. Thank you, Joe. Joe can fix it in just a split second. This is funny. I noticed, Vic, that you don't ask for coffee anymore from Projo. Don't you trust him? Yeah, well Projo spikes.
We got enough going on.
That's right. Projo spikes the coffee.
We got.
Oh, goodness. Happy Wednesday, everyone. Good morning live on YouTube, Rumble, Facebook, X, and then on many, many, many other platforms after the show, many platforms.
Yeah, it was a girl from England that was dragged. Did you guys remember hearing about that?
I do, now that you say she's from England.
So much is always happening. That's what I said. You have to keep a scorecard.
You do.
And once again, St. Louis City leadership, everything's fine.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing to see here. DEI, pronouns. DEI, pronouns.
Trump's racist. Trump's racist. We got that going on now, too, in St. Louis. Again. Have you noticed that, Vic? They're like gearing up.
And kill the Jews.
And kill the Jews. Trump's a racist and kill the Jews.
I mean, those are the messages coming out of St. Louis City. I'm sorry,
right.
it is.
No, you're right. And they're gearing up because they know that Trump will win.
No. You don't know what that is? In all of your infinite production wisdom?
Man, I tucked some cords last night, and I must have put something next to a power supply, and I just don't see it right now.
Yeah, is there an update on Riley? Yeah, there is an update on Riley. Riley is has brain trauma, swelling to her head, and she's still, on a ventilator.
Who's Riley?
Who's Riley? The girl in the fight. Oh no, that wasn't Riley.
I'm confused.
That was Kaylee. Now I'm
Kaylee.
confused too. Who? Okay, yes. So maybe she's meaning Kaylee. That's who I'm thinking she was meaning. Are you meaning Kaylee? If you're talking about Kaylee, the girl that was in the fight in North County, she has a Blaine breed.
No, the boy from Mizzou, Riley Strain.
Oh, Riley. So look at all this stuff going on. And these
I'm like, who the hell is Riley?
And Riley,
No.
and see, Riley, I get kids. Riley, Kaylee, Riley could be a boy or a girl name. I'm so confused. You're right. Riley is the Mizzou person.
Yeah, unfortunately.
Yeah. It's not really an update.
Well, there's video. We'll show it.
You've
I
got
sent it
that
to
today.
Joe.
Yep, he's got it ready to go.
I mean, I didn't know if people were still interested.
Yeah, they are, because they haven't found him. They're still interested. They're interested in Kaylee too.
Joe, so we have to deal with the sound for today? Is that, I mean, we got to get started.
I'm sitting here so we can get the show started.
Okay.
And then I'm going to come in there and
All right, buddy.
root around.
Yeah.
But then we're also going to have to go to videos. So we'll get the show set. And
It's
Right.
fine. It's not that bad, guys. It's not that bad.
Are we on yet?
I didn't know you were ready. Okay, here
Let's-
we go.
yes.
There we go.
We're ready.
Hey guys, welcome to cancelthisshow.com. Vic Faust, Lizzie Sparks, Projo in the house as well. We appreciate you jumping in with us. It is Wednesday. Happy hump day. March 13th. Had to look down. I used to be able to see that. Let me get my glasses too, if that helps. Anyway, March 13th is our time. We are coming up. St. Patrick's Day weekend too, right? Isn't it? We're 13th. When is St. Patrick's Day? Saturday?
Sunday, I believe.
Sunday,
I believe
Saturday,
it's Sunday.
Sunday. We're glad you're with us today. Like, subscribe, share the show. You know what we do. We continue to grow bigger and stronger on the show because of you guys coming in, not only to this live platform, but checking out our material after the fact and literally sharing the show. You can share it. You go to the video websites, the X, the Rumble, the YouTube, the Facebook, and you literally just send a show. Copy paste. It's that simple. You can copy it, and that's how you get it going with us and letting people know how we're doing that. Yes, Kevin, that was a great opening segment that Projo put together to start the show out. We love it. We started with that. Hell, Joe, I don't know. We can end the show with it too. I know you said it doesn't work that well, but I like it.
I do too.
Anytime we see that video, it's good video.
It's just the intro song. I'm going to actually make an outro with the outro music.
All right, look at you go.
Yeah.
That would be fantastic. You can always jump in. We love it. You guys let us know what's happening in your world. If there's stories that need to be covered either today, tomorrow, whatever, or if there's guests, if you know of advertisers, sponsors, people of that nature, let us know. Donations, we'll work with that as well. You can check out our website where we have our merchandise as well. All kinds of items on there. You can check it out. And it's a big Wednesday day. About 8:40, we talk with the Stricks. They're live in studio. And then at 9:30, it is a Weed Wednesday segment as well. The best dispensary in the state of Missouri. It is Route 66 Cannabis. Ham and Rom will be in to talk about some of the new items that are going on there. Plus, lots of stories as always. It's the fastest 2 hours in podcasting. That's what we do. Now we take a deep breath and we get into it. Lots to get to today. Not all of it put you in a happy mood, but it is what it is. And that's where we go with this today. Hey, real quick, because somebody just asked, Joe, can you look in there and see? I thought I sent you a video of Riley Strain. If I didn't send it, let me know. It would have been yesterday during the daytime. Somebody just asked about Riley.
Yeah, Joe saw it this morning. We see it.
There is video of Riley. They released in Nashville. Since somebody asked, he is the Mizzou student, the 22-year-old Mizzou student. And we'll play that now, the 22-year-old student, and we can talk over that. That's why I brought it up, just to make sure that we had it. The 22-year-old Mizzou student went missing Saturday night, 6'7". And when you see the video, it's a little scary. I can't imagine being a parent seeing this because clearly he is drunk and disoriented, stumbling around streets. You'll see it right now. He is circled. When he went out of the bar, he got kicked out of the bar, just to remind people. He said he was headed back to the hotel, but he headed the wrong way. And that's, for our listeners, we're showing him walking on streets late night in Nashville. Started walking one way, then he turned back, then he does a circle, just very confused and disoriented. Now they're showing him stumbling down the street, leaning over. I mean, when you don't know where he is, it's difficult to watch the video and see it because you don't know where he ended up. Just stumbling, bumbling around. And, and for our viewers, they see him just kind of going over. So somebody asked about it. I didn't even put it in the show today. I just got the video. But since somebody asked, I thought we would show the video.
Yeah, a lot of people still really care about what's going on with him. And I think if you're a parent, the not knowing has to be awful. And knowing it's right by a river and that he's stumbling and bumbling and gets kicked out. I think people are speculating, did he just fall in the river? Did he get jumped and get pushed in the river? The fact that he disappeared is why so many people think he's in the river.
Yeah, Tara says several videos now, all are awful. And of course, that's what it is with that from the weekend. Of course, Nashville police looking, they're doing everything they possibly can. And if he's not in the river, where did he go?
Yeah, where is he?
And they would have found him if he was on a street somewhere. That would have happened very quickly.
Absolutely.
But they don't. So I don't know. Chris says I lay some blame on his friends that no one stepped up to help him walk back to the hotel.
I agree. Because, there's an unwritten code that if you go out with friends and you drank too much, at least in college, I don't know if it's the same with adults, but you don't let your friend just leave. And
you know what?
You just don't.
That happened to me. Over 2 decades ago, I was down on the landing. I wasn't drunk. It was the only time I ever got kicked out of a bar. We literally walked in.
Mm-hmm.
And because it really wasn't labeled, I walked into the girls' bathroom.
Oh, well.
Literally, I had no idea. I walked into the girls' bathroom and I went, oh. And then I walked back out. And as soon as I was there, a bouncer, you're out. I was like, I didn't know it's not. I don't care.
Right.
So,
boy, things have changed. You
So
could
that-
walk into a girl's bathroom
Yeah.
today and people be like, hi, Victoria.
And then my crew, the point of the story is we all left since I got
Of
kicked out.
course. Yeah. You do. I agree with Chris. You don't let a friend, even if they make
You
a dumb
don't
mistake,
leave your wingman.
You don't leave
I will
your
not
wingman.
leave my wingman.
Never leave your wingman. Never.
Top Gun.
Yep. Never
For
leave your
Younger
wingman.
audience who may not know what I'm referring to.
That's right. All the cool people will know what you're referring to, though.
Yeah, that was the river in the background of the video. Apparently he got tossed out
Mm-hmm.
and the back. Oh, and his friends were peeing and leaving out the front. That's possible.
That is. That maybe they just didn't see him.
But I heard
for a while.
another story where he said he was heading back to the hotel, which is why they knew what he was doing.
Correct. But I mean, he was a fraternity brother. I always thought the fraternity brothers stuck together.
Yeah, you do. And you don't know how much alcohol was consumed by everybody and what kind of rational decisions, logical decisions, responsible decisions were being made. Roland says, one time I had to snatch a girl's keys that was so drunk. I had to snatch them off her butt in the Central West End. I ran, LOL, and gave them to police. Good for you, Roland. You might have saved a
agree.
life.
Absolutely. Probably did save a life, maybe several.
Especially if he was in a fraternity, the number one code is to have your brother's back. I did read that one friend tried to go after him, but security wouldn't let him leave without paying his tab. By the time he paid and got out, he was gone.
That makes sense too. Yeah, that makes
That would
sense.
be
How tragic. And that friend has to probably feel some guilt right now. I didn't pay it fast enough or whatever, and I didn't get out there. But my heart goes out to the parents and siblings of Riley because the not knowing has got to be just awful.
Yeah. So that's what's heading up with Riley. We'll continue to talk about that, see where we're going with that. Something else that has happened, and I hate to say it, things don't get any better in St. Louis City. I don't remember, but at least there's a positive update. I missed it. You guys didn't. We'll show you the pictures of this woman, this 22-year-old, who on February 25th, I mean, she's been fighting for her life since February 25th. It's difficult. At least the last thing that we have is that she can't move her legs after being dragged by a fleeing car in a St. Louis gunfight.
Oh, that is so ridiculous.
Yeah. Her name is Ellie Bentley, a 22-year-old British woman who moved to the United States last year. She was dating a St. Louis FC soccer player, Indiana Vasilev. And what, you can't find the pictures? Okay.
There's nothing in the email.
All right. Let me get those pictures. Lizzie, did you have a chance while I'm sending that to Joe? Did you read up on that?
I did read up on that. And this particular lady was here. And as far as I understand, she was a completely innocent bystander. And then literally got drug underneath a car. And for some reason, I know I saw a little bit about it, but then it went away. Of course, it went away. And the person is still in the hospital. And this is just one of many stories now coming out of St. Louis with major violence. There's video of this girl being just drugged underneath a car by two thugs. And she was here, and I didn't get why she was here. I don't know if she's here for college.
No, she was here for her boyfriend.
Okay, for her
and
boyfriend.
then I guess they're not dating anymore. So then she was still here. She moved here with her boyfriend.
Okay.
I sent those again, Joe, so you can pop those up. The sad part about this is it just adds to another long list of people damaged, hurt, lives change forever when they come to the city of St. Louis. Yet you have Tashara Jones, the mayor, who's not responsible enough to take care of the shit. Over and over and over and over and over and over again. Over and over and over and over again. We're now showing our listeners, our viewers, the pictures. And for our listeners, we're showing you a picture of this young, beautiful woman from England who came here, Indiana Vasilev, her ex-boyfriend. And the gunman, there was a fight. They broke out. The driver was in the car. Well, heard the gunshot. She saw a gunfight. She had literally just got out of her car. She was walking. So she raced to get under another car. So she was hiding, literally hiding in the streets of St. Louis. And all of a sudden, the car that she was under took off because the getaway driver just happened to be the car that she was using for protection.
How tragic.
She was caught up, dragged for 2 blocks. All kinds of body lacerations, broken bones, unconscious. She finally came to life. She woke up just this last week and was leaving the ICU this week. Once again, congratulations, St. Louis, on making everybody feel. I mean, I'm sorry, you go downtown. I know so many people have had their cars robbed. That can happen anywhere.
Mhm.
I know people who have had bullets hit their car.
Yes.
Personal friends.
Mhm.
I know somebody who was shot. And then we bring up all of these stories. I mean, we want to talk about, oh yeah, I'm fine. I'm going down to Cardinals games. And most of the time things seem to be fine, but are they getting worse? And I don't want to bring up things and, oh, back in the day, everything was so safe. We could go to Crown Candy and everything would be good.
Well, I think Crown Candy has not been safe for a while.
But my God, I mean, again, Janae Edmondson's legs taken off. Mom and daughter from Chicago killed. This situation with the student from England, this has all been not that long of a time period.
No, in less than a year, very tragic things have happened to so many people. And you know what? Think about this, Vic. A lot of these people aren't even from St. Louis. They're in here visiting, in here for volleyball tournaments, coming from a different state to just come to a ball game. And a lot of this isn't even happening to locals. And so that's why tourism, people don't want to come to St. Louis. You come to St. Louis, and one of the things on your agenda is make sure that you be prepared if you get shot.
This all starts with the mayor.
Yes, it does.
This all starts with Tashara Jones. It's at her feet. A mayor is responsible for taking charge of the city.
Mm-hmm.
And she has wanted to be in charge of that police department. She has wanted to be in charge of everything. You don't hear her on a daily basis talking about crime. You don't hear her on a daily basis about increasing police. You heard her about reimagining police.
Mm-hmm.
You don't see a massive major investment. The only investment that was in St. Louis City was the soccer group. And guess what? St. Louis wouldn't have gotten the soccer team unless they built in the city, because for some reason MLS has this urban clause where you have to build new stadiums in the urban cities. That's the only thing going in St. Louis. It really is. Come on. That's it. The soccer stadium. And it's a great environment. And that's because of the people of the St. Louis metropolitan area, not the people of just St. Louis City, that make it an amazing event.
Correct. And there's so many amazing things in the city of St. Louis, but so many people, even today on our chat letters, are saying, I would never be caught downtown again. And I've said that in the past, but I have to go downtown because my daughter plays volleyball, and that's where it's often played, is at the Dome. But something is always happening right outside the Dome.
Yeah, I want to read this more about what happened to her specifics. Joe, if you could put that picture back up, that would be super, super helpful. 22-year-old British woman, once again, came to the States with her boyfriend. They broke up. She was still here. She's from Bingham, England, east of Nottingham, and she had recently graduated from the University of York. So she was here with her then boyfriend. And, you know, she's just out and about. And now, after suffering this horrible experience, she has a long road to recovery. You know, she had just gotten out of a car when the shooting started. She ducked down behind the vehicle that we were just speaking about until the shooting stopped. Once it stopped, after a while, the car that she was hiding behind, it hit her, ran over her, and then dragged her for a couple of blocks. I mean,
that is unbelievable. And this is so many things.
She's called an unlucky bystander.
Oh, God love her.
And of course, the person who hit her with his car allegedly knew she was there when he ran over her and just continued to go. Because that's the mentality of people in downtown St. Louis.
Of course. And Kimberly on the chat line is saying
it is a jungle. They are animals who are running around crazed, and the mayor will not stop any of it. The mayor can make it known. My number one important issue is security. Yet her number one important issue is DEI.
Yep, DEI, and making sure that her and her friend Corey are calling,
I'm sorry, I'm angry. She needs to be called out on this. She just does.
She
All
does.
of these things of just, it's adding up.
Mm-hmm. Well, and think about it. Like Kimberly's talking about the people that are driving around there with no insurance. They have criminal records already. They have no license.
Damn, this poor girl.
Ugh. It's terrible.
Last report is she can't feel her legs.
Oh no, not another.
Congratulations, St. Louis. Businesses come to St. Louis. The city's dying. There's people who will tell you, oh, St. Louis is thriving. I love my city. And of course, you see the commercials and it's all the old, the people who are, quote, labeled stars because they were here. John Goodman's, Hams, you name it. Oh, we love our Cardinals. We love our Magic House. Oh, we love our Ted Drew. It's the same thing over and over. It's like, give me a break. It's all bullshit. I mean,
yeah.
St. Louis City is bad. It is bad, 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 bad. I mean, when it's compared, there's crime in every city, but it's so damn bad here.
It really is. And you hear about it every single day. And this is like the third person in a short period of time. Kimberly's talking about on a chat line. She has a client's son that their legs were amputated in St. Louis City.
Got another one?
Another one. And now he's in a nursing home. So think about how many of
because he was hit
by a person with no license, no insurance. I don't know if the car was stolen or not, but that's a big part of the problem. They steal these cars. They have no insurance, no license. And then you get hit and you get maimed and you have all these medical bills and no way to pay them. So, I mean, it's not only do you have a life altering event like losing your legs, then your life is ruined financially.
I'm just tired of all of these stories.
Me too.
I am just of these women being hurt. And then on top of it, you had a 14-year-old boy, Jennings' boy. He got stabbed to death yesterday.
That's awful.
Yeah. 14-year-old boy, Jennings, stabbed to death at the middle school, outside the middle school.
And he was trying to break up the fight.
Once again, this is St. Louis City under the current mayor, under the current alderwomen who are hardcore left progressives as a majority. Not every single one of them, but the most of them are. They're all worried about DEI. They're worried about Palestine. They're worried about you getting their pronouns correct. I mean, this is the kind of crap that's happening.
That's right.
And I'm sorry. I want to see St. Louis succeed. And I do believe the region goes as its city goes. I do. I mean, maybe things are changing, but
no, I agree because a lot of people live on the outskirts of St. Louis City, but St. Louis City is supposed to be the beacon and it's nothing but a hellhole. And it goes over and over and over. You hear about these things and nobody's stopping it because the mayor, as you were just saying, are worried about things that don't matter. DEI, pronouns, bathrooms, all of that. And who votes for this? There's two groups that vote. Well, actually, not that many people vote. Like maybe 28% of the people in the city even vote. And the only ones that vote very loudly about this is Black women want to vote for other Black women. And they all vote dumb. And the other thing is dumbass white liberals. That's who's doing it. White liberals are part of this problem too. They go there because they think they can fix the problem and help the poor Black people. And they go there and they do nothing but sympathize with the crime. They make excuses for the crime.
Chris says, let's be honest, the city has been in a death spiral since Slay left office. I agree, in spite of the best efforts of well-meaning business investors. And I've talked to some of these business investors and they did not want, I repeat, they did not want Tashara Jones as mayor. But then she turns it and says, it's all the racist people. They don't want a Black woman in the office. That's what her speech was. And then it's the race card over and over and over and over and over again. I just get angry every time I see this. I missed this story that happened February 26th, which is why and then a friend of mine sent it to me, an avid listener of our show. And I went, oh my God, I had not heard about this. And then you don't see it in any St. Louis publications, her leaving today. Do you? No, that she left this week. Nobody in St. Louis is putting that out. I haven't seen it in TV.
Nope, because they don't want to talk about it. They sweep it under the rug. Like there's nothing wrong with it.
Like I said, things changed when they told us as news anchors, we couldn't show mugshots anymore. And you couldn't say if it's a white man or a Black man.
Well, you know, if
Well,
they,
we don't want to be mean to people. We just we don't want to offend anybody, you know. And I mean,
well,
my boss had a good heart, but man, was she an idiot when it came to leading a newsroom.
if you did it though, Vic, it would be plastered all over the place because you're a white male. They do say the race if it's a white male.
We can't upset anybody.
Well, yeah, we don't want to upset. Well, no.
Everybody
but
was afraid of being canceled. That's why that's why the
Mhm.
show's here. We don't want people to feel like they can be canceled. These things need to be said.
we just don't want to offend.
Doesn't mean we're being mean. It means we're calling out. Women should not be losing their legs, losing their life, losing their mobility, losing whatever. In so many cases of females being hurt in the city of St. Louis just in the last year,
That's right.
over and over and over again. Our women deserve better. Men deserve better. Our kids deserve better. And we don't need to be played to with DEI and all this other bullshit that has no meaning on our life, no meaning whatsoever. So thoughts and prayers to Ellie. I mean, she comes here only to be with her boyfriend. They break up, and then she goes through this horrific experience. And my God, I hope she can move her legs.
I hope the boyfriend, even though they broke up, he brought her over here. I'm not saying they should get back together if they broke up.
Well, we don't know all those
but
interpersonal things going on.
But I'd like to know them. I'd like to know if he at least now is helping her in some way, at least bringing her some food when she can't even hardly move. That would be the nice thing.
I don't. She may not even be here. She may be back home.
Hopefully,
I mean, who knows? Especially once again, from a parental standpoint, your daughter somewhere else, and this happens, and then you get the calls. Oh yeah, St. Louis City. Because let me tell you something. When you come to St. Louis City, people know. And people know about the reputation. And even though it's been since 2015, I may have told this story before. And I know we have listeners all over the country, and we have a good amount of people who listen out of the great state of Michigan, where I spent almost 12 years of my life. When I told people I was leaving Detroit for St. Louis, I am not kidding you. I heard it more than once, maybe 3 times. Oh, we're sorry. We're so sorry you have to go there. Once again, this is Detroit. People were sorry you have to go there. And I'm like, what do you mean? It's like, oh man, because
wasn't it like the pot calling the kettle black to go from Detroit to St. Louis?
A long time ago.
Okay.
But then Detroit changed. Guess what they did? They didn't have all this DEI bullshit. They hired a police chief from Beverly Hills, California, paid him almost $300,000 a year. And he changed the effing city. He was working in unison with the mayor, not worrying about people's feelings. And Detroit got better. And all of our Detroit listeners, you know what I'm talking about. They started investing money in the city because you can't allow the crap to happen. Did crime still happen? Yes, but in a certain area. And I'm sorry, it was black on black crime, and it was kept in a certain area, and it did not bleed over. And if it did, it was put there. And if anybody was dragging their feet, other politicians dragged them along. And if it was a race issue, blacks would drag blacks along on the political issues. Because Michigan and the Detroit area was a safer place. Not that it's safe, but it was safer than St. Louis. So my point is the reputation of St. Louis, even going back to 2015, was terrible. And it's only gotten worse since.
That is very true.
And then you have liars and people who lie because they have a pride issue when it comes to their Democratic leanings to try to say that crime is down in the city. It's not. And then you had the police department led by Tashara Jones that was not releasing crime stats correctly. And when they do release it, it shows what's really happening. And then the mayor's silent. Every day she should be holding press conferences, but she doesn't want the bad press. And then as bad as it all is, you know what's even worse?
What?
Who else is even there to take over mayor? Who else is even in the ranks to lead St. Louis into another into something better?
No one.
There's no credible candidate that I even know of, even by name.
No. And you know what? You can't go up against. I know people. I've got some of my kids live there, and they have an idea of who could be the mayor, but they're the wrong color. If you're not black right now, you will not win. So if you're a white male that would go up against Tashara Jones and still be really great, you're not going to get elected in St. Louis right now. And it's not just because of the black people. It's the white liberals are not going to vote in a white person.
By the way,
pathetic.
I felt a lot more comfortable in the Detroit area than I did the St. Louis area. I'm just giving you, and this is my town. So it's sad, but it's true. St. Louis, wake up, because all the St. Louis people that have never left here, I've had this conversation with them. Like, yeah, this is far worse than Detroit. I've lived in both areas for a long time. Deal with it. We have to deal with it. It's a fact.
Well, and like Todd is saying, St. Louis is sitting there watching the Rams money do absolutely nothing as people
Tashara
are killed
Jones.
every day. And there is a lot of money there. And that money, if I was the mayor there, I would definitely stop defunding the police, hire more police officers, and just like what you're saying, pay a police chief a whole lot of money to stay here. And I'd fix the dang potholes. I'd fix the streets. The streets are terrible in St. Louis. There's potholes everywhere. So if you just fix the potholes and stop the crime, St. Louis would take care of itself. It really would. But look, and there's a lot of money right now that could take care of this. And it's just sitting there right now. Well, I shouldn't say all of it's sitting there. Some of it, some poor people were given $500 a piece.
I didn't want to get into it a ton, but we've talked a lot about St. Louis, so I'm sorry. Pam says, but yeah, I do feel safer in Detroit than St. Louis. Whether people agree or don't agree, I just, until you've spent over a decade in both places, I mean, you don't know.
Mm-hmm.
So it is. It's just colder there 5 months a year, which sucks.
Yeah, it's a little chilly there. I've never lived there. I've been there several times, and it's just a little colder.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It gets a lot colder,
Mm-hmm.
unfortunately. It is interesting though when you see, is it possible? Because you talk about colors, and we talk about Trump, and we talk about blacks. It is interesting, Joe. If you can show this video that I sent you yesterday, this was an Instagram piece where this is a breakdown they just did with one couple regarding, and it's an African American couple. They're voting over since 2016. And I bring this up because it became official yesterday. Joe Biden and Donald Trump both made it official. They're your candidates they both earned enough delegates. I do find it interesting. 400,000 on the Democratic side voted uncommitted.
Yeah, that says a lot.
Now they're not going to vote for Trump.
No.
What are they going to sit it out?
I think that
400,000 votes. Like,
they'll sit it out or vote for RFK.
And we already know, even though black people and those Antifa-like white people can't say, oh, there's no way blacks will vote for Donald Trump.
Yeah, they will.
This is one example of how you see things changing.
So in 2008 and 2012, you voted for
Barack Obama.
2016.
I voted for Donald Trump.
Hillary Clinton. 2020.
Donald Trump.
Biden. And who will you vote for in 2024?
Donald Trump.
Donald Trump. So in 2000,
it's just one couple, but we're seeing more and more of that, a switch into realizing, well, I may not like him, or I may like his policies, and I may not like his person, whatever. Donald Trump. By the way, Trump did not celebrate the victory, said we got a lot of work to do. Mm-hmm. Do people feel better about the RNC now that Larry Trump is now co-chair? And what did they do when they first went into the RNC? They fired 60 employees who were just sucking up cash.
So glad about that.
Yes. I'm sorry. This is what is bad. Either Republicans are very, very, very selfish, or they got infiltrated and they were trying to destroy the Republican Party, the uniparty winning, wasting money, 60 positions not needed in the RNC. Mm-hmm. Yet the RNC wasn't doing anything for the party. Had some of when you have majorities in Congress not getting anything done, yet all those people are now leaving and retiring. Will it change? I love it. From top to bottom, they're cleaning up the mess over and over and over again. Todd says Trump already getting to work, and he's not even in office yet.
I love all of that. And Laura Trump has proven time and time again to be very loyal to her father-in-law, but also get policies. I don't think all of his kids get policies, but his daughter-in-law understands how to clean up the RNC. So I thought that was a good move. I know some people disagree with me because they say it's nepotism, but I love it. She's a proven product in that.
Yeah, she is. But if you don't like Trump, you're going to say nepotism. Oh, whatever. They're all bought and paid for. Blah, blah, blah.
Well, that's true. I mean, I understand that. But I even know people who like Trump don't like the nepotism. And I hope from the last time when he got elected, the thing that I noticed, excuse me, that I didn't like was that all of his kids got so invested in all of this high social media. And I like his kids, except for one, I think. And I thought the one that was doing that didn't do any service to her dad whatsoever. And that's Ivanka. And I like Laura. I like Laura a lot.
It works. And the other thing is when you're Donald Trump, who do you trust and who can't you trust?
Mm-hmm.
You know, after
right.
everything that's already happened.
That's right. So
Chris says it should have happened a long time ago. You clean house of the waste. Now the RNC can actually focus on what needs to be done. That's to advance conservatism and put money towards those causes, not waste money. And we already know. I mean, if you didn't know already what Ronna McDaniel was all about, the niece of Mitt Romney. I mean, come on, come on, come on. And nothing was being done.
Nothing.
And you even have that guy. I mean, that guy is a total douchebag. I don't know. I won't vote for Trump if he's a president. I mean, he's literally out there saying that stuff. How can people, I've met people from Utah, some damn good people. How could they continue to vote for that guy?
I know. I don't get it.
Ugh. Ugh.
I guess because he's Mormon and a lot of people are in Utah. And so Mormons vote for Mormons. Other than that, and I'm not saying that's true because I don't know that, but it seems like that's the only logical reason why he keeps winning there. Because everyone knows.
Well, he'll be a nothing without the RNC, and he'll be a nothing without
Correct.
Mitch McConnell, and he'll be a nothing without the others who are leaving, who've had a history in several years of doing this kind of stuff over and over and over again.
That's right.
More Trump news. I guess we'll get into some of this, I guess, before Kathy and Steve get here. I find it very interesting. J6 evidence coming out. And this was a good report that Jesse Waters did on Fox News. So check out this video where they're breaking down, because now the media won't cover this. They lied about Trump's involvement when it came to January 6th. Social media hid his press conference from the back lawn, telling people to be peaceful, going against what the narrative was. And now we're starting to get the documents released that were previously hidden by Nancy Pelosi and her hit job staff, the January 6th committee. Check this out from Fox News.
Designed just to force the Justice Department to charge Trump. A new report shows key elements were based on lies that could seriously injure Jack Smith's case against Trump. Do you remember Democrats' star witness, Cassidy Hutchinson? She testified under oath that Trump lunged to the front seat of the beast in an attempt to wrestle the steering wheel away from the Secret Service and drive himself to the Capitol riot.
The president reached up towards the front of the vehicle to grab at the steering wheel. Mr. Engel grabbed his arm, said, "Sir, you need to take your hand off the steering wheel. We're going back to the West Wing. We're not going to the Capitol."
The media ate it up.
President Trump, according to these Secret Service agents who relayed this to Cassidy Hutchinson, lunged at the wheel and then lunged at the throat and clavicle.
He apparently became furious when he was told he could not join the mob.
He physically got into an altercation with his Secret Service because he wanted to go to the Capitol.
Cassidy Hutchinson having the courage to come forward and do what so few inside the Trump White House have been willing to do, come out publicly, freely, and to tell the truth. But it wasn't the truth. Trump never tried to hijack his motorcade to join January 6thers. Trump's own driver testified that it never happened. But his testimony was covered up until now. Trump never grabbed the steering wheel, never lunged, never attacked the Secret Service. He told the crowd to march peacefully, and he drove peacefully home. Now, the other big lie was that Trump actively blocked the National Guard from responding to January 6th.
We know Trump was the one who initially resisted mobilizing the National Guard.
You need federal authorization. You need the Trump administration to authorize it. And the Trump administration is AWOL.
There's no indication that President Trump ever made a call to have the Guard deployed.
It was so slow in getting the National Guard to the Capitol. I think that's another chapter of the story that involves high levels in the administration.
New transcripts that have been buried show Trump's White House offering 10,000 National Guardsmen to the D.C. mayor ahead of January 6th. Mayor Bowser declined the request. Interviews also show that on January 6th, the White House was burning up the phones to the Pentagon, demanding they deploy quick reaction forces to the Capitol, but the Pentagon was slow to react. Now, if Trump, as Jack Smith alleges, was trying to incite a riot to obstruct the certification, why would he ask 10,000 National Guards to protect the Capitol days before? And why did the January 6th committee hide this? Committee was designed.
They hide it, or they hid it. They were hiding it all along. This was Nancy Pelosi, and I'll call her an evil woman because she was evil for what she did. And I'm just speaking about this case in general. They refused to take Republicans. Republicans were offered for the committee. She refused to take them. She wanted her inside Republicans, the ones who were turncoats, that she could just railroad everybody on. And now it's coming out. She's out of office. Here comes the evidence. Here comes the truth. There are still Democrats that don't want to bullet. Oh, even Chris Cuomo and all of his nastiness on with Tucker Carlson in the past couple days said it wasn't an insurrection. He's like, it was a riot. And he's still trying to say that police were beat by guys. But do we know that they were true Republicans, true conservatives, or were they Antifa? But even he says, let's be real. And he was on CNN at the time. And he's like, it was not an insurrection. There were no weapons. Give me a break. Even he is saying it now. So just remember, this was hidden, all this evidence. So now it comes out. And as we've said, all this crap that's being thrown against the wall against Donald Trump, it's not going to stick. The only stuff that sticks is when a judge in a liberal area can dictate what happens with no evidence possible, as we saw with the E. Jean Carroll case.
This is so frustrating to me, Vic, because all of this stuff that is coming out is a revelation to so many, even a lot of conservatives. They were calling it an insurrection on J7. So many people said you shouldn't have been there. This is wrong. People have.
You shouldn't have gone into the Capitol.
Well,
I will never stop saying that. I'm sorry.
I don't agree. I don't agree with that whatsoever.
You got to be smarter than that.
Well, I'm not saying you shouldn't be smarter than that, but I mean, literally, there are people that were on the other side of the Capitol. I understand if you were on the side that there was rioting and carrying on, but there was plenty of people on the other side that honestly did not know that was going on. The police ushered them in, cute little grandmas. I would have been that cute little, well, I don't know, cute, but I would have been that grandma that would have been over there, that if a police officer had said, come on in, I would have gone in. I'm sorry, I would have, because.
And you would have been arrested.
And I would have been arrested.
And you'd be in jail right now.
And I'd be in jail. And that's why I didn't go, because I had inside sources. I had my ticket. I was going to go. And people told me this is a setup that is involved with Nancy Pelosi and Mike Pence, who are going to call off the National Guard, blame it all on Trump. So people that are really down and dirty, so to speak, Trump supporters, and I'm meaning that in a good way, that understood this from the beginning, knew from day one it was an insurrection, that it was not an insurrection, that Donald Trump would be blamed for something. This was set up by Mike Pence and Nancy Pelosi. And all of this information that is coming out like now that is such a revelation, it was all out. It was out back then on J6 and J7, and people did see it. And then it was squashed.
And then it was squashed.
Then it was completely squashed. So people did see it. I saw all this already. And I'm thrilled that the people who at the time, I mean, people were vilified. Other conservatives vilified people that were there. Good state reps were there. There was other good radio people were there. I was almost going to be there. You know, Ashley Babbitt was murdered, and she was, and the truth is being told.
Even Cuomo was kind of saying she deserved what she got.
A lot of people were saying she deserved it.
That shocked me.
Well, and when you see the real video of even her, she got sucked up into going there too. But the people around her were not her friends. She had gotten separated from her friend. She got scared. She was trying to get back out. And part of this now to me is so damn infuriating. We already knew this.
Well, all of us knew. It's just now coming out, and it's going to save Trump. I'm just telling you.
And
all
that
the
I'm
evidence,
glad about.
all the evidence is going to save Trump.
And I'm thrilled. I'm thrilled. But here's the same thing. It always comes out as
when the media messaging and you've done your job.
Well, the media messaging on this is they do what they want. The liberals do whatever the hell they want, and the truth will come out. But the truth usually comes out 3 or 4 years later. So the people that could have been implicated on the side of the Democrats no longer can be implicated. Now, I'm glad it's going to it's out, and it's going to save Donald Trump, and I'm thrilled about that. But no one that did this, Mike Pence is guilty as shit, and so is Nancy Pelosi. They were the ones that orchestrated all of
Pence's
he's guilty as hell.
His actions with that whole situation now that we see, it just horrible. I don't know how he could go to any Republican event ever. Now I know he's been booed off some stages
he's going to continue to be booed. He is a traitor,
and he has to live with that.
Yeah, he does, and he knows what he did, Mr. Holy Roller Traitor.
He shouldn't even leave Indiana.
He should never.
He
leave
has
his
some
house.
support there.
That's right. He should never leave his house, because this has been known the whole time. And I know I'm going on a rant, but and I'm glad this stuff is out, but we already knew. But I'm glad the people in the back who didn't know, and a lot of conservatives, I have a lot of conservative friends that said that those people that went into the Capitol got what they deserved. No, they didn't. That Capitol is the people's house. We have a right to be in there. And when the Democrats go in there and throw a fit,
no, here's the
Democrats
problem,
can't.
No, hold on, Lizzie. You can't just walk into the Capitol. You don't just have a right to walk into the Capitol. I'm talking about from a legal standpoint.
Well, maybe not, but Democrats do it all the time. They do it all. Look at the Kavanaugh thing. They're yelling and screaming.
They did, and charges should have been brought.
But they weren't.
And there wasn't an appetite from Mitch McConnell and others to go after them at the time. I think that would be different now, but you can't just go barging into the Capitol. I'm sorry. People did that once and they were arrested, and there's people in jail and have been wrongly accused. And I hate that for them.
Well, and I hate that too. But I mean, it is not, if the ones that walked into the Capitol and they were in there loudly rioting, or loudly, because there were some conservatives that did, or I don't even know if they were conservatives, but they were people that were all caught up in the mob mentality. And there was probably some Trump supporters that were in there. The average people were not in that. We saw a video. They're just walking around. And if a police officer invites you in, you are not wrong. A police officer is who we are brought up to believe are the good guys. And I would have gone in, I wouldn't have gone in with the mob mentality, with that group that was mobbing. I would not have been in there. But on the other side of the Capitol, police officers were letting him in, and it appeared calm. I would have thought I was just going on a sightseeing tour. So I would have gone in there.
I'm just grateful that we have evidence now that's being shown publicly, even if mainstream media isn't going to cover it all. But now you have the evidence where the administration tried to stop January 6th. 10,000 National Guard troops were called by Trump. The White House had tons of calls in to stop what was going on. And then, of course, the testimony given by the female about Trump trying to grab the steering wheel was proven to be false by the driver himself, saying that it was all a lie. So at least it gets out there. You do what you can do. You try to maneuver through all of the information that comes in and comes out, but it's something that needs to be covered. And then, of course, you remember it when you go to the ballot box, when that comes up again. And, that's all you can do. And unfortunately, there's people, and hopefully, if he was elected, he could commute those sentences in some capacity. That
Hopefully
would certainly be.
That would be beautiful.
And real quick too, when we visited, we had to go through our senator. We even rode in the elevator with Senator Kerry at the time. If I only knew.
But most people don't know that. And I agree, because the only way that you would have gotten in there, we've gotten in there and we got permission from Roy Blunt. That's how we got to go in there. But that being said, when it's that big of an event, people don't know the laws. They really don't. They think that they can go in there if a police officer tells them to.
Yeah.
But you're right. You're supposed to go in with your senator, or with permission from a senator.
We'll continue to talk about that. Also, coming up just after 9 o'clock, all of the evidence from yesterday with Special Counsel Hurr, who said he did not exonerate Joe Biden. And it was great video. Wait till you see the clips of that if you haven't seen that yet. But first, one of our favorite times of the entire week is jumping in with Kathy and Steve. Kathy Helbig Strick, Steve Strick, Experienced Real Estate Partners. Also,
good morning.
New American Funding, powered by Score Mortgage. And of course, your New Age Health and Wellness Company. You guys have a good week?
We've had a busy week.
You've had tons of,
We have good weeks and we have great weeks.
How do you guys look so fresh?
Oh my gosh.
They always do.
It's hard to keep up with her.
By the way, if you have any questions when it comes to real estate, when it comes to mortgage, and of course, when it comes to keeping your body as healthy as it possibly can be, with the incredible company of New Age, as we've talked about, just let us know, because we never get, it's like all of a sudden, right when we start to say goodbye to Kathy and Steve, we start getting tons of questions. So we want to make sure
Start them now.
Start them now.
that we have that going on. Kathy's wearing your new age shirt today. Thank you for getting on your tippy toes so you can show that.
I don't have my heels on.
Oh. That might have been the best moment we've ever had.
That's
On
right.
top of everything else that's going on. Okay, you guys started New Age. You've got the shirt. We were just talking about it. How's Lake St. Louis location doing right now? Because in the first week, I remember you already had people coming in. It was like, damn, people already know about this location, because as you know, when you start a business, people have to learn about new locations.
Yeah, that's the scary part, right? Like you've got all these great ideas. It's going to go great. It's going to go great. And then what if you open the doors and nobody shows up?
Yeah.
It's a real fear with real business owners. We're rocking. I think we're going to hit the end of the month with some transfers. Wow, that's close up.
You guys do look good though.
Yeah. It's daunting when Joe does that.
Probably 70, 75 patients.
Already?
In a week and a half?
With some transfers. No, by the end of the month.
Oh, by the
so
end of the month.
26 to 26 projections.
That's beautiful. That's a beautiful.
We had some transfers from the dude, obviously.
But our biggest month signing up new patients at Ladue ever, I think, was 41.
Okay. Wow.
We're supposed to sign up more new patients than that in month 1 at Lake St. Louis.
Do you find that more people, when they're coming in right now, they already know, listen, I got to get my blood checked? Are people being educated?
Yeah, they are.
Most of them, but we've had some people come in that receive some of our mailers and stuff like that too. That it's new information to them. So yeah, it's exciting.
And by the way, check it out, newagehealthwellness.com, NEU, newagehealthwellness.com for everything that they offer. I'm curious with the new location. I've asked you guys this before, just because I'm a patient and a goer and a customer, and I love what you guys do. What is the main comment that somebody makes when they're coming in right now to the new location? Is it what you've always heard? I don't feel well, or I'm tired, I'm run down. And is it male or female, or do you have those breakdowns yet?
You going with this one?
Go for it.
I know I threw a lot in there.
No, I was going to say it's pretty close to 50-50. I think it depends. Sometimes we have a little bit more women because of the medical weight loss piece, but I would say the conversations that I'm involved in, because obviously we're not the nurses and we're not there at the clinic every single day. The conversations I have are almost always around women talking about being tired, that they've been to their doctor, everything appears to be normal. They have unexplained weight gain over the last few years. They have no sex drive, like the brain fogginess, like all of that stuff starts to come out as soon as I say, well, there's symptomatics of having some hormone imbalance, can be A, B, or C. And I start going down the list, and then they finish the list. So they almost always have very similar symptoms, whether it's in their 40s, a lot of times late 30s, 40s, to 50s. They have very, very similar symptoms of just this unexplained. You don't feel as good as you used to feel. You don't understand why. You work out more, you're eating better, yet you're still gaining weight, and you're just not feeling yourself. And then the repeated, the doctor said I'm fine. The doctor said that's normal. The doctor says it's just aging, that this is what happens, and we're supposed to accept that. I hear that a lot.
Talking with Kathy Helbig Strict, Steve Strict, when it comes to the business. I mean, when you guys started this up too, obviously, did you think that it would grow this fast? I mean, because to me, it seems like it's grown fast, but we only see the end of it. We don't see all the work and the legwork that's been put in that nobody else sees.
Yeah.
I would go for it.
We had hoped it would grow fast, but of course, like he said, we don't
I'd say no.
have a crystal ball.
I would. I'd say no. When we opened the first clinic, we had intentions of opening another one. Right. But we didn't know when that was going to be. I actually got a Facebook memory this morning from 2 years ago where it was talking about the construction that was going on in the first clinic. So we weren't open yet. I think we opened it the end of March, something like that. So it'd be 2 years to this day. I mean, 2 years to this month that we opened, and I had no idea that it was going to do what it's doing now.
Well, the other thing, you've talked about it too before, Kathy, when it's up to keeping your circle, and this is great life advice too, with what you guys talk, even with your Life Unrestricted show, the social media platform that you guys have. And if anybody's not familiar with it, please check it out on social media, where you guys said you started to keep your circle even smaller, and you surround yourself with people that push you and trust you. And Steve, I know you've done that at least with New Age. You got guys you love, you trust, who would go to bat with you. And then I guess you go to business when you have people like that around you.
Yeah, it's Kathy's been really good at that. She's had a little bit more life experience than me, so she's
That means I'm old.
good at being guarded.
It's a nice way of saying it.
But I've had my situations as well, and I have no problem keeping my circle smaller. I really don't. Actually, I probably keep it smaller than most people do, just because that's the way it is, and that's the way I am. But these guys that we're partners with, they're great guys. They have hearts of gold. You can tell that. They're loyal, and they work their ass off. They're not entitled to anything. They don't feel that way, and it's really hard to find partners like that.
Lizzie's talked about that too, being a business owner in the past, about when you start a business, and for anybody who's listening, whatever it is, it's, gosh, you got to have those right people around you, because if you don't.
And you also know them as friends. You don't know them as business partners.
Right.
Business is a new layer
It is a new layer
introduced to the relationship that can literally
that's a great
make
way.
things complicated.
Yes, and it can ruin them if they're not loyal.
Oh, yeah.
Because
Usually
business,
does.
yes, it usually does. So you got to be careful bringing your friends into a business, because sometimes the friends will come in and think, okay, what can I get out of you, instead of what can I do to help the business? I need to work my ass off and expect little until there's a big gain.
Well, and they also think, oh, well, you're doing this over here. You're running this business. I want to be part of it too. And I know I can bring A, B, and C. I literally ran into it in mortgage space recently, to where somebody, it's worked with me for quite some time, said, I can do this job. I'm going to do this job. I said, you know what? Let's try it. Gets in there, and he's just completely overwhelmed. He's like, I can't. I have breakdowns. Couldn't do it.
Yeah.
Kathy Helbig Strict with what?
Yes.
Oh, yeah. Sorry. With Experienced Real Estate Partners, Steve Strict with New American Funding, and of course, New Age Health Wellness. If you have any questions, you can go ahead and do that. Give us a call. Also, 314-276-SOLD, 314-276-SOLD. And of course, New American Funding, powered by Score Mortgage. Okay, guys, I was out yesterday and I had a guy tell me, he was like, oh, I want to go here. I want to go down to Florida. He's like, hey, did you know? He's like, Florida's real estate is on fire. And I'm like, and he's like, in a bad way. And he couldn't believe, he said, I was looking in one neighborhood where they had over 50% of the homes of 600 plus neighborhood were for sale.
Where was he? Naples?
It was down south. It was the south part of Florida. That's all I knew. And I was like, oh, I got to bring that up with the woman who knows more about real estate than anybody in the St. Louis area. That's Kathy Helbig Strict. What the hell's going on?
It all up.
I mean, I know we do this show out of St. Louis and people love to know it, but I think our situation in St. Louis hasn't changed, right? It's kind of all. So, but what the hell's happening? Have you seen any of that in Florida?
Well, there was just like we've seen California go through that for years, the rush to go to California, and then the boom in the real estate, and then the bust in the real estate. So anytime you have such fast growth like that, and Florida experienced that through the pandemic. So, we are expecting that to have a little bit of a bubble before everything else. Or
is it because all the prices were so high?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's crazy. I mean, just in the 2-year time period from when we were mid-pandemic, we were seeing houses that had doubled and tripled.
Since 2017, tripled.
Since 2017, tripled in value. And this was in like 2020.
And these are
21, 22. We were looking at
these
values.
are $100,000 homes.
No.
These were homes that were 400,000
or
that
million.
are now $1 million,
million to
or
3 million.
to 3 million. And you look at it and you're like, seriously? And now you put interest rates into the mix.
Yeah.
It's even more unattainable. But we have been talking more about Florida. Just the kids are
We
gone.
watch it. We watch it.
Oh, you do? Oh.
He looks at real estate every single day.
Well, that's why you have to.
That's why I asked
you guys
if it was
do.
Naples.
Yeah.
Because I'm noticing
I've heard
is on the
Naples
market.
too. This
And
other
actually, I just read a thing today that the Latino purchasing is up higher than it's ever been. So Hispanic,
is it?
Latinos.
No, it is.
Our
Is it?
friends are Latinos.
Is it? And obviously, this may sound like a silly, stupid question, but with all that's being allowed, is this legal and illegal? If you're illegal, can you buy a home too? Or
no.
Okay.
I mean, you got to have certain paperwork. And and they're
Steve in this day and age, I don't know anymore.
The undocumented cannot buy.
And
we call them illegals here. I'm sorry.
Single
illegals.
I just read
That's
too
right.
that single female-headed households are one of the fastest rising purchasing.
Why is that
right now? I don't know. But you know what? You partially because we finally can. I got a little trivia for you two. Don't you guess?
Don't guess.
Okay,
Don't
here we go.
There was a time that women were not allowed to get mortgages. What did you even know that? What year did that change?
Gosh, I remember
Wait,
hearing
I'm gonna
that.
give you an example. 1942.
Okay.
1953. 1974. 1978.
Holy crap.
So we have to pick one of
Pick one.
those. Gosh, I want to say 1953, but
What are the listeners saying?
I'm going to 1974 only
Mine goes
because
in Iran.
only because
yes, in Iran.
That's still current.
It's in Iran. I know. I think you're probably right in the 70s because I want to say when my mom and dad got married in the 60s,
I don't know. I just say 74.
she
because
couldn't have her name the first on the title. I don't know if that means she couldn't have bought it. So maybe that would be the 70s.
I'm shocked as it is. I'm totally shocked.
74.
Okay,
Can you
74,
believe? So in
78,
my
okay,
lifetime, like you
74,
said,
74.
our mothers.
Yes.
Wow.
No wonder
Yes.
people felt trapped in their marriages back then, right?
Right.
Buy a home.
Yeah.
Couldn't buy a home if you wanted to get a divorce as a woman. So isn't that crazy?
There was
that
also no social media.
Yeah.
does that
That's,
have to
that's,
Plus the social media
that's a
needed-
great plan.
I feel like a
Great-
lot of people are getting divorced because of social
Wow.
media.
Steve, great
That's
point.
true.
That's,
That's true.
You know that's right.
Well, there was a lot more affairs, I'm sure, undercover because you couldn't leave.
That's right.
You know, you couldn't
The
go.
neighbor.
The neighbors.
couldn't
That's right.
Probably have cars either.
That's right.
And there was no
That's
social
I love the
media to
milkman
put
and
it out.
mailman.
Right. That's where you
People
hear
who
the
would be at the
milkman.
house.
Now it
Yeah,
comes-
and the mailman.
Now it makes
That's
sense.
right.
That's the only
That's
guy who
right.
came over.
See?
Okay.
It is all making sense now.
Oh my gosh.
But I just thought that's crazy. It's like a little like aha moment today when I'm driving in. It was like, man, I can't believe that while I was a child that
Yeah.
women could not buy houses.
The Schwann's
Yeah,
guy.
the Swans guy. That's right. The Swans guy. But I do remember my mom saying that. My
Yes.
parents, when they got married, my mom had the money. My dad didn't have that much money. And my mom had all this money to put down on this
Mhm.
house.
Yeah.
And she couldn't have her name on the title.
Yeah.
Or at least not first, as I recall.
Mhm.
That's
So-
crazy.
Yeah.
So women housing
Yep.
purchases are up and or leading.
Yeah, they've always been. I've been looking at those statistics for probably the last 4 or 5 years, and they've always been like 51%
Mhm.
higher of single females versus single males. 49 to 51% always kind of hangs around there. But yeah, we're starting to see more and more women with higher incomes right now and single family head of households, and they're just a big buying class.
Go women.
Wow.
We have
I
a,
think my personal opinion, because people have asked me on news stories and things before about it, is I think a lot of times they want to nest down for their children and get into the school districts, whereas sometimes when I think divorces happen, you see stereotypically the guys want to go do the apartment and not be tied
Yeah.
down to anything and that type of thing. So maybe that has.
But no, I bet you're
don't know.
right about that. I mean, I've seen that too, where the women still, no matter how empowered woman power you are, you still want to nest for your kids.
Mhm.
Kathy, we have a question. We've been talking about Coldwater Creek issues this week, and we had an interview with a woman who started up the Coldwater Creek group back in 2011
Mhm.
Because Josh Hawley just passed. He had it passed through the Senate, a bill to get some quote compensation to victims, and now it's going through the House. Ann Wagner signed back on. Greg wants to know, with the Coldwater Creek issues, what can we do in those areas affected to try to sell a home in Florissant, Missouri? Is
Well,
that even possible?
I mean, I've seen people. I've sold a couple before around Coldwater, but the media attention wasn't on it quite as much as it is right now. So it was a few years back. But I mean, the biggest thing is you have to disclose. You don't want to have somebody that has their head in the sand and had no idea, and then buys the house and then comes back at you 3 years from now. But yeah, I mean, people will buy, but it's going to be at the right price.
Yeah.
Somebody also said, so you're telling me if the house would have went under, the women would not have been responsible. LOL.
Yeah, I guess
Well,
back,
yeah,
I
I
guess back
mean,
then, the
yeah,
women would
they
not
wouldn't
have been
not have
responsible.
been. Mhm. Mhm.
to make that a little bit easier.
Yeah, not on the credit.
Maybe
hit.
the men would blame them, but they wouldn't be financially
Yes,
liable.
Yes.
That's
That's
right.
Exactly.
That's right.
Kathy Helbig Strict with Experience Real Estate Partners, 314-276-SOLD. Once again, if you have any real estate questions, reach out to her and her team. I love how you guys take care of things, by the way. I saw your pictures on social media, taking care of your team. I mean, I don't know how anybody could be any more happy
That was
to
fun.
work with you guys, and you celebrate it. I think it's another example of how you have to lead as business leaders and owners and taking care of your people, because I know you have some very, very loyal people who've been with you for a long time as well.
Yes. And it wasn't a stellar year, but I felt like we still needed to celebrate.
They hosted the Oscars for their
Oscars
for
of
their
real estate.
people.
It looked so fun.
Yes,
so fun.
It was a good time.
And your pink dress.
She looked
Thank you.
stunning, didn't
Thank
she?
you.
Yeah,
Thank
she
you.
did.
She looked
Thank
amazing.
you to Dolls next door to me. We have a bridal shop and prom shop that moved in like a year ago.
We've
next
had them
door
on
to
the
our-
show.
Oh, cool. Well,
Yeah, we
she
have
outfitted
Asma.
me.
She has come in and
Is that
spoke
your
about
spot
her
now?
journey.
Yeah.
Is that your new spot?
Yep. Asma's my girl. She
No.
took care of me and brushed it to fit me, and they did a great job.
To your point,
It's
Vic,
fun.
though, it's important to put your people out there, to make sure that they're recognized, to make sure that they feel like they're important. I see a lot of people, not going to name any names, but there's a few that just jump out at me and all they do is talk about themselves, and they have small businesses, online. It's look at me, look at what I got, look at what I got. And that's never going to be something that you're going to see from us.
Correct. You need to talk about who helps you with that.
That's it.
Your employees,
Yeah.
like you guys do.
Yeah.
It's very evident. You can see different kind of business, same in the same industries you guys are
Yeah.
in.
Yeah.
There are some people that are like, look at my car, look at my house, look
Oh,
at my
yeah.
this, look at my that, instead of look at my employees
Mhm.
that have built this up. And you definitely do that with New Age and with real
Yeah.
estate and in mortgage. You guys put your employees first. It's real
Well,
evident.
yeah. I mean, when you can't be in the business every single day, you have to have people that are in the business taking care of your customers, just like you would. And that's hard to find. So when you do find some, you need to celebrate them and get them to stick around. So,
Any advice before we let you guys go today when it comes to real estate or mortgage right
Yes, I
now
have a
as we
quick
sit
one.
here March 13th?
I have a quick one because we're in storm season coming up here. We're going to have spring storms and a couple of things we've run into in the last week or two on contracts. So if you're a buyer or a seller, pay attention. Make sure that you're knowing the conditions of those roofs and anything insurable that's going to affect your insurance, because insurance is getting tighter and tighter and tighter right now. And so we've run into a couple situations where buyers are competing over a house. And so they're either stripping their inspections again, or they're saying we're going to do inspections for informational purposes, only not going to ask the seller to do anything. Come to find out the roof has some hail damage or a bunch of hail damage. And then the buyer's insurer says, oops, we're not going to insure that house. It's got hail damage. So now you're in a situation where you're under contract with a seller saying you're not going to ask for anything. And now you find this out. And now you can't get insurance. So if you're getting a loan, it's all like it's a domino effect. If you're getting a loan and you can't get insurance, you're not getting the loan.
Yeah.
So then there's the whole thing. Well, I went in and did non-contingent on financing because I knew I'm golden with my credit. That's cool. You can go with your credit. But if you can't get insurance on the house that you're buying, you're not getting the loan.
Yeah.
So it's just one thing opens a can of worms after another. So if you're a seller that has a an older roof and you've not had it checked for hail damage or any of that kind of thing in a while, you're getting ready to sell your house, probably should talk about that and be prepared. If you're a buyer that's making those type of offers, you need to understand what you're walking into, be knowledgeable, and maybe give yourself an out. There is an insurability contingency clause in the contract. To my chagrin, most agents forget it's even there. They don't even pay attention to it. So, and that time frame on that insurability piece is really short. So if your agent or yourself are not in tune to that time frame can pass really quickly. And then you don't have anything to go back and negotiate with the seller. So it can put you in a bad position.
Well,
That's
love
my
to
tip
have
for
the
the day.
advice.
Yeah,
We
good
appreciate you
advice.
guys. Hey, but before we let you go, we want to show everybody your beautiful pink dress and how good you two look.
Oh, thank you.
So-
Thank you. I looked a little better that night than today.
And that because she's our friend too, so you got that dress from Prom Dolls.
Yep. Prom
Yeah.
Dolls. Mhm.
Look at that
Yeah.
dress, Steve. You look damn good, man.
And I try to
Cleans
keep
up
that.
all right.
Was that red carpet at your house?
Yeah.
Yes. So that was my labor of love because I like having people over, but I'd rather cook than decorate for a party. You know
We
what I
had
mean?
somebody really help us out on that catering.
The catering helped, yeah.
Yeah.
So I didn't want any of my assistants or agents that assist me a lot to help with this party because it was their party. And usually they help me, like they're a huge help with all that kind of stuff. And I was like, nope, I'm doing this by myself.
You did it by yourself?
Oh my God.
You did it by yourself?
It was such a job.
You did it by yourself?
Well, on Friday, you came and helped me
This
set up.
assistant helped.
But up until Friday, it was all me. You didn't even know about it. So I ordered all the stuff to make it look like the Hollywood Oscar nights, all the red carpets, all the
limo was there,
banisters,
so
the
they could take
limo, the
pictures.
photographers, the videographers. I had the Hollywood Walk of Fame I put all over my sidewalk. And as soon as I put it, they rolled up. I was so mad. But it was a fun night. So
I
we had
loved
lots of
seeing
good
it.
food and-
Everything you guys do is great. You're awesome people. You have big hearts, and you just try to help so many people, and you do. So thank you so much, guys, for coming in again this week. Once again, Kathy Helbig Strict, Experience Real Estate Partners, 314-276-SOLD, 314-276-SOLD. If you have any mortgage questions, you want to get everything in line, get ready, get pre-approved, give Steve a call, 314-374-0770. And of course, when it comes to getting your health right, you got to get that blood checked, get into a new age healthwellness.com store because they're all over now. There's one close to you.
Coming for you.
I mean, there's got to be one within a 15-20 minute drive of the entire St. Louis metro area.
Another one coming soon.
And the DePere, right?
And DePere, yeah. Should have that lease wrapped up.
That lease going.
Guys,
Hopefully this week.
happy Wednesday.
Thank
for
you.
coming.
You too, guys.
Continue being the
All right.
guardian angel. Lisa
Yes, he
says
is.
he always stands
He is my
behind
guy.
her like a guardian angel.
Steve has
We
written
all
the
want a
book.
guardian angel.
Steve has written the book on how to do
Yep.
it from a man's
Yeah,
standpoint.
100%. 100%.
You have.
Thank you, guys.
Thanks, guys.
Boy.
See ya.
Yeah.
This is cancelthisshow.com. Of course, we just gave you the numbers and we'll be in touch. Thank you. So we're just promoting them and obviously what they've done with the show. Michelle says, wow, they're just amazing. Glenn says, good people. Just love everything that they're doing there. Bendy says, gorgeous. Of course, we are cancelthisshow.com. I'm Vic Faust, Lizzie Sparks, Projo in the house as well. Making sure we look and sound as good as we can. We haven't seen a Projo cam today, though, have we?
No, he's busy now talking to the Strix out
Yeah,
there,
of
so
course
we
he
won't
is.
see a cam.
Of course he
He
is.
smoozes our guests. You know that, right?
We appreciate you guys jumping in and being a part of our show as we are here. Thanks again for doing that. Once again, this next big story that we've got to talk about is what happened yesterday. Special counsel Robert Hurr. Robert Hurr met with Republicans and Democrats. And okay, I'm pissed at him for not bringing charges against Joe Biden.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm especially pissed because of how adamant he was that Joe Biden was in the wrong yesterday. So he was clearly trying to protect himself, but make no mistake about it. What he did yesterday, what he said should never be forgotten. Over and over and over again. He told Democrats, I repeat, I did not exonerate Joe Biden. Most the Schiff and Shifty Shift, they all tried to get him to say, well, it's clear you've exonerated. No, he's like, and he would even interrupt. I did not exonerate. I repeat, I did not exonerate Joe Biden. Joe Biden was not exonerated for his document illegal activity. Not exonerated. And he made it clear over and over and over again yesterday.
Sure did.
The media, the Democrats were irate and they tried to put words in his mouth, but it didn't work. So I respect the hell out of this guy for standing up to the Democrats, but I'm pissed at him because he could have easily brought charges.
Easily. And he didn't bring charges. I agree that I'm glad that he said that he didn't exonerate him. But heck, he's getting off again because he didn't charge him with a thing.
No, he is. But then I know Democrats who say, well, doesn't matter. That's how the legal system is. He didn't do anything, even though the man in charge said the only reason he didn't file charges is because Biden's forgetful and he's old and senile and it's bad. Here's some of the excerpts from yesterday when it comes to not being exonerated that we have. Joe, there's two clips. It doesn't matter what order we put those in. Schiff bug-eyed when he's on drugs.
He really is bug-eyed. And I wonder why sometimes he's more bug-eyed than the other. And I wondered that too, if he was on some sort of drugs.
Just listen. And here it is. If you didn't have a chance to check it out, we do this stuff throughout the day and overnight to bring this to you. That's Special Counsel Robert Hurr that we're showing for our listeners. This is him speaking right now.
So this lengthy, expensive, and independent investigation resulted in a complete exoneration of President Joe Biden. For every document you discussed in your report, you found insufficient evidence that the president violated any laws about possession or retention of classified materials. The primary law that you analyzed for potential prosecution was part of the Espionage Act, 18 U.S.C. 793E, which criminalizes willful retention or disclosure of national defense information. Is that correct?
Congresswoman, that is one statute that we analyzed. I need to go back and make sure that I take note of the word that you used, exoneration. That is not a word that
I'm
appears
going
in
to
the
continue
report, and
with
that's
my
not part of my
questions.
task as a
I'm going to continue
prosecutor.
with my questions.
The
I know
judgment
that
I
the term.
I ultimately reached
I know
related to
that the
whether
term.
sufficient
Let him
evidence
talk.
existed
No,
such
sure
that
won't.
the likely
You didn't-
outcome
you
would be
exonerated
a
him.
conviction.
I know
I
that
did
the
not
term
exonerate him.
willful
That word does not appear in the
retention has a.
report, Congresswoman.
Mr. Hurr, it's my time.
I did not exonerate
lengthy,
him.
expensive,
I
and
did not
independent
exonerate him. I did not exonerate him. He said it 3 or 4 different
You
times.
sure did.
I did not exonerate him. And even though the national media will not cover it, we will. I did not exonerate him.
Mhm. No.
Guilty. Should have been charged, but he's too old and senile to face charges.
So I guess now, if that's the president they're setting, we can all go out to anything that we want to and just say, I don't remember. I don't remember. And then we just, and then we get off and we don't get in any trouble. We can just say, I don't know. I don't remember. I mean,
Lisa says, what a next Tuesday. CUNEXT Tuesday.
Right.
Spell it out, Lizzie. What a next Tuesday.
That's right. That's right.
Lisa, that was funny.
Mhm.
Mitch says he was loaded on drugs at the interview, not the Dr. Biden was.
Of course.
We have another clip, and here it is, of Special Counsel Hurr answering, talking, and dealing with a Republican, Matt Gaetz, talking with Special Counsel Robert Hurr, that the past was a Democrat Jayapal. Now, here's Matt Gaetz talking with Special Counsel Hurr.
Right? So the ghostwriter purposefully deletes this evidence that seems to be like show culpability of Biden's crimes, and you don't charge him. Why did you not charge the ghostwriter with obstructing justice and deleting evidence?
Well, for a number of reasons that are laid out in the report, but in brief, Congressman, yes, when we interviewed the ghostwriter, he did tell us, and I'm trying to get the exact language, that one of the things on his mind, one of the things he was aware of, was that I had been appointed special counsel and was conducting an investigation.
Right, so he didn't, just so everybody knows, the ghostwriter didn't delete the recordings just as a matter of happenstance. Ghostwriter has recordings of Biden making admissions of crimes. He then learns that you've been appointed. He then deletes the information that is the evidence, and you don't charge him.
That is reflected in the report, and one of the reasons.
Like, what does somebody have to do to get charged with obstruction of justice by you? If like deleting the evidence of crimes doesn't count, what would meet the standard?
So, Congressman, as we state in the relevant chapter of the report, one of the things that Mr. Zwanitzer did not delete was transcripts of the recordings that he had created that included inculpatory evidence relating to Mr. Biden.
Oh, so if you destroy some evidence but not other evidence, that somehow absolves you of the evidence you destroy? Here's what I see. Zwanniger should have been charged, wasn't. Biden and Trump should have been treated equally, they weren't. And that is the double standard that I think a lot of Americans are concerned about. I see my time's expired. I yield back.
Okay, so Special Counsel Hurr heard it from both Republicans and Democrats yesterday. I don't know. I don't know what to make of it. It's a big mess. He created it himself.
Mm-hmm.
Where I stand in the side of things after hearing him talk, once again, no doubt Joe Biden did something wrong, but for whatever reason, he refused to exonerate him, but he refused to bring charges. I think he was afraid.
I think he was afraid too, because they were afraid. We say this, we were talking about it on the show yesterday. He could be unalived. He did his job in the fact that said that he has no cognitive ability to understand what he did, but then he's not going to do anything about it to bring charges. And that's what keeps happening over and over and over. They do so many things to innocent people on the Republican side. The Democrats are guilty on so many counts, and they will basically call them guilty, but it's not their fault, Vic. It's not their
Of
fault.
course
They
it's not.
couldn't remember. They couldn't remember. Now, if a Republican did it, let's throw the book at him and put him in the Hooskow for 3 years for nothing. But the Democrats can get by. Now, that lady that kept talking over him and over him and over him, when I was looking at his face when that was going on, I think you hit the nail on the head, Vic. I think he wants to say that he's guilty of it, but he's afraid of, I'm not saying necessarily being unalived, but his political career, as far as the Democrat Party, it would be over and people talk over him. And I think he was scared.
I don't know what to make of this whole thing. It's just, and it's going to go away now.
It is going to go away. That's going to
I mean, I don't know. Does anybody care?
No,
I don't
people
know. I
care.
don't know if they do or not.
I
And
don't think
that's
most people do care. I mean, they play these clips on the middle of the day, and most people are working. And unless you're able to work from home, or you're retired, or you're a stay-at-home parent, you can't even see that's going on. And the average person look at it, they don't even know what's going on. They don't even know who's under trial. If it's not the Murdoch trial or not some other thing like that, they turn it off. People are so inundated with political garbage that they just turn it off, because you want to know why? It's not that they don't care. It's nothing's going to happen to a Democrat anyway. Nothing.
It's theater.
It is all
It
theater.
becomes theater,
It's all theater.
which is unfortunate. I don't know. I was just curious what people thought about it. I just didn't want anybody to think that Biden wasn't guilty. Just you can be guilty without charges being brought against you. That's how DC works.
Correct. No, that's true. You're absolutely right about that.
And also, you've got a situation where politicians can maneuver things. They can make things as bad as they want to make them. And as Terry says, so many lies without consequences.
Yes. And Paul's saying if the Clintons have gotten away with everything that they've gotten away with, the Bidens will remain untouched when it's all said and done.
Well, it's what's happened. I mean, eventually you meet your maker in life.
It catches up with you, because I don't think
it may not be in this life. I do believe in the karma.
I do
at least
too.
in the next one.
I do too. But think about this: Hillary Clinton and Bill Clinton, for all the things they've gotten by with, the thing that you want in life is to have your soul fulfilled and to be happy. Those two are the most miserable people in the world. They might have gotten by with things. They might have all this money, but they are miserable, nasty, especially Hillary. And so that even here on earth, when you're that miserable and you've gotten by with so much and you've still not been made to be happy, it's kind of caught up with you.
No, it does. It all catches up with you. And we're starting to see that with the administration as well, because obviously it's the worst administration we've ever seen. We're getting a lot more evidence, and we're getting more people talking about the economy when it comes to inflation. But once again, you have to do your research, because once again, you have KJP lying about our economy. Listen to what she said yesterday regarding inflation and prices. Once again, they will tell you anything straight-faced with a damn lie. You can't trust anything they say.
Inflation is down 2/3, and we have the lowest annual core inflation since May 2021. Prices fell over the last year for gas, milk, eggs, chicken, appliances, and also used cars. Wages are rising faster than prices over the last year since the pandemic, and forecasts broadly expect progress on inflation to continue over the rest of the year.
Okay,
inflation is
a bullshit.
That's all you needed to do the whole time she was talking.
Total
freaking
bullshit. Actually, under Joe Biden, overall prices are up 18.6%. Food prices up 21.2%. Gas prices up 42%. And real average weekly earnings are actually down by 4.2%. The Biden administration, KJP, will look you dead in the face and tell you the worst lies you could possibly imagine. And it's not even the end of it. Here's the worst of it too. Let's break it down even more when it comes to prices, when it comes to inflation, because these are things that affect both Republicans, Democrats, and independents. It doesn't stop. Sugar. Nobody should be buying this, but guess what? Sugar, the price of sugar, up 44%.
44%.
44% for sugar.
So many things have gone up at least 40%. When you figure, you know, what, 2-3 years ago or more than that, you could buy a big old bag of chips for $3. Now that big old bag of chips costs $6.
Bread up 30%. But those are two things people should stay away from anyway, if you can. The most you can, sugar and bread. I'm just telling you, it's not great for you.
Yeah, I could do without sugar, but I sure like bread.
I know it's just not
bread.
It's not great for you.
No, I know.
I know you get to. I'm sorry.
What?
I care about you. That's why I send you the bad Chick-fil-A videos.
You know what?
And
What
bread.
you guys do
I'm
not know.
sorry.
I'm telling on them all right now. You know what Vic does to me? He's so mean. My only thrill in life is Chick-fil-A. And he just like rubs it. I know it's bad. I know it's bad. I know it is, but he just rubs it in and sends me mean things. That's how mean he is. That's as mean as he gets. He just, and it's like, and you do it with gloating, like, nah, Chick-fil-A.
I don't mean to do it with gloating. I'm sorry. I said it upsets me about all the food that we eat, the preservatives. I sent Lizzie a video of Chick-fil-A.
Yeah, you did.
Where a woman did a test. She kept her chicken out like a regular piece of, like a drumstick.
Yeah.
And then she kept a Chick-fil-A nugget out for 3 months.
Yeah.
The Chick-fil-A nugget was in perfect condition after several months. The drumstick was all molded
all
up,
wilted and moldy and all that. And you think about, you take that Chick-fil-A, and I
sorry,
still call
Lizzie.
it God's chicken.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean it to be in a bad sense.
I know. Yes, you did. Yes, you did.
I didn't.
But you know what? So I'm going to go to Chick-fil-A this week and drink my sugar-filled Dr. Pepper and some Chick-fil-A. But you know what?
Why don't we bring a Chick-fil-A nugget in here and we'll put it in a bag? And we'll just keep it here, and it'll be in the same condition in a year.
I believe it. You're not wrong.
You know, if they can preserve chicken like that, maybe if you eat it, it'll preserve you like that.
That's right. That's my thought.
How do you think Biden's hanging out?
Right.
That's right. He probably has eaten a lot of Chick-fil-A and drank Dr. Pepper.
I know.
Maybe they shoot him up with Chick-fil-A in the arm. Maybe that's what they do.
Something that I do love: butter up 27%. Butter, Celtic salt, and pepper, like the best things in life. They make everything better for me. Chicken up 26%. I've seen that. Eating out up 21%. Sometimes you can eat out and it's every bit the same price as it is to buy food.
I've noticed that. You can go out to eat now for the same price you bought something in the supermarket.
It blows my mind.
Me too.
Food at home up 21%. And rent, I'm surprised it's not even higher than this, up 20% on average across the country. Those are actuals, not what KJP, not that bullshit stuff that she's selling at the podium.
Right.
Joe, were you going to say something? We don't have your camera today, and I'm kind of upset about that.
I do have my camera. I just haven't put myself.
Well, let's turn it on. Let's see you. Did you have?
Yes, there's Pro Joe.
Did you have something to say, or what?
You know, I forgot what I was going to say.
Well, it was about food because you know a lot about food.
Yeah. Yesterday I went to Lion's Choice. 2 sandwiches, large fry. That's
two
it.
Sandwiches.
Two regular, just roast beef sandwiches. You know, 2 round. You know, and $20.
Isn't that nuts? And they're not that big. Those Lion Choice sandwiches are fairly small.
I mean, they have a lot of meat on them. However, I mean, it's not worth $20.
I learned a lesson last week or a week and a half ago. I think it was Chipotle.
Yeah.
And all I got when I was in, I got a double steak bowl. It was double steak, rice, guacamole, and some sauce. That's it.
Yeah.
It was $20.
Isn't that crazy?
I was like, I won't be back here. Damn. And I regretted eating my meal. I was like, oh my God, $20 for this?
It does. When you go out to eat, it used to be like so fun. And now you're eating it and thinking, how am I going to pay the rent or the mortgage this month? Because I just ate Chipotle or Chick-fil-A or Lion's Choice. It's highway robbery is what it is.
The gas, I know we like to talk about gas and the factors for it, but literally 42% up since Biden took office, gas prices, and we're on a 4-month high right now. Now, usually the powers that be make those gas prices go down right as the election starts. That's kind of always been one of those things that's there. Will that happen? I don't know. Cheaper to go to Applebee's than Burger King.
Isn't that the truth? That is true. Applebee's, the prices haven't started to jack up like some of the fast food.
Lisa says you should eat at Qdoba then. A chicken burrito bowl last night with a side bag of chips was $15.
Okay, well now you know.
No, I've been there too. I've been there. I don't know.
It still sounds high to me.
When you think about it, that is very high, just from a couple years ago. And think about, Taco Bell. That was somewhere you could go, and it was so inexpensive. And now Taco Bell's $20. I mean, you can't get out of Taco Bell drive-through without that.
I didn't see this. Terry says, and we appreciate you guys jumping in on the show here because we're talking about the inflation that everybody deals with. Republicans, Democrats, Independents, it doesn't matter. They've been advertising Red Lobster deal that's $60 for one meal.
Isn't that the all-you-can-eat one? Because I know Red Lobster has this thing that it's all you can eat.
$60?
Yeah. Now, if it's all you can eat, that might be worth it. I saw something.
Just go to a buffet.
There's not that many buffets anymore. There used to be a lot of buffets. And since the pandemic, there's no buffets. I mean, I know buffets full of germs and that or whatever, but for a parent that has a lot of kids, I could go to some sort of a Chinese buffet or Golden Corral or one of those things, and the kids could eat for fairly cheap, but you can't anymore.
I mean, damn, that's a lot. I'm looking at the price. Somebody else sent me some information to try to figure out what the hell's happening with everything that's going on with prices.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. Anyway, it's not getting cheaper. It's getting more expensive.
It is.
And those are the kind of things that we're dealing with. Yeah, I want to see. Yeah. I can't wait to talk to him about that. Let's see. Golden Corral, too far away for me. Did somebody bring up Golden Corral?
I did. I brought Golden Corral when my kids were little. You could go to a buffet and it was cheap. And now there's not that many buffets.
Chris from the line says, we have to travel for cheer competition a lot on the weekends and have to eat out. This year has been the worst with spending money, at least $200 or more for a competition because of inflation.
100%.
And because of the pricing that's out there.
That's right.
That's crazy.
It is.
Crazy.
Your kids in sports now, you often have to go out to eat and you have to go out of town in these sports.
A taco party pack, is that from Taco Bell? A taco party pack, 16 tacos instead of 20 for $20.
That's right. Well, and Connie's saying something that a lot of people are saying, that it's so horrible that people that are at retirement age now, they can't retire. They have to keep working. They're working harder now than they have ever worked because the inflation is so high. They intended to retire and then they didn't do it. She's got a very long, really good thing in here, and that she's mad knowing that the communists in the White House is letting in millions of illegals into our country while Americans are slaving just to get their next Happy Meal.
No, I've noticed it. I really notice it with the groceries. I do. I've noticed it. I don't buy sugar and I don't buy bread, so I had no idea that it had gone up 25% and 26% for pricing.
Yeah.
Butter I do buy, and I think I did notice that. The meats, clearly, all the meats way
Butter's doubled.
Way up high. I'm curious as we bring in our guy, Ham and Rob. He is the CEO, founder of our favorite cannabis company, Route 66 Dispensary, for our Weed Wednesday segment, brought to you by Route 66 Cannabis. And Ham, good morning. Welcome back into the show, buddy.
Ham.
Have you noticed the inflation stuff around in your life?
Of course.
Where have you seen it the most, or where do you think you notice it or feel it? I mean,
I feel it everywhere. I mean, it's ridiculous. I was just kind of catching the tail end of your conversation.
Well, KJP, the White House press secretary, was telling us that inflation is down, wages are up. And I'm like, so we actually read the real studies that were just put out, and it's the exact opposite.
It's all crap. First of all, wages are up because inflation is up, right? So, and the best way to for anyone to use common sense is just go through, you know, a fast food joint, right? I have friends that go through there, or I have kids that, you know, will go through there, you know, at a Cane's or whatever. And I was just at a restaurant and I ordered a Diet Coke. It was $3.50
for a Diet Coke.
For a Diet Coke,
and they charged you
for fountain soda at a restaurant.
Oh my! So were you sitting down, or you at a bar?
No, I was sitting down at a restaurant. It was a Brick Tops, not to throw Brick Tops under the bus.
No, I like it. I
think
like it.
It is what it is. But if Diet Coke and iced tea are $3.50, and it used to be $1.25 to $1.50 just 2 years ago, 3 years ago, that's inflation.
Yeah, sure is.
And why is that? Right. So now I'm putting on my old school like real estate hat from back in the day, right? Because wages are up, right? If you're going to pay someone $17 to $20 an hour to work at McDonald's, let's say, they can't sell you a soda for 89 cents anymore. No. It's not possible.
Right.
Well, that's why
when you go to the grocery stores, have you noticed like they sell everything in smaller portions and make it look like prices are not up, but you're getting half as much. So prices are up.
That's correct.
Have you noticed that?
Oh my God, yes. That's weird.
Even Costco's doing that, right?
Yeah.
I like good old Costco here and there, right?
right. But all their products, there's a lot.
You know those little
price
peppers where they're all different colors,
Yep.
bell peppers. I love those things. Slice and put in a salad. We used to be able to buy a big bag of those for like $5. Now you still get it for $5, but the bag is half the size.
Yes.
That's inflation.
Good old shrinkflation.
Okay.
Shrinkflation. There you go. I like that.
Shrinkflation.
I mean, that's the term that's been put out there. By the way, as we talk about this, if you didn't know, Ham is quite the chef as well. How did you learn? How did you learn to be a chef? Because you cook a lot.
I do.
And I've been at your place and I was like, damn, you made that? You didn't have somebody make that for you?
You know, it started with I was in 9th grade. My mom was going to go home for the first time and visit her country and visit her parents. And remember, we left our country, you know, back in the days in the 80s in the middle of the night. So she, here I am in high school, and my brother was, you know, 7 years younger. So she was like, you need to learn how to cook for your father because he works a lot of hours. And, you know, I always like to have a nice warm meal waiting for him. So I became my mom. And so I went through her training camp for a month. So in 9th grade, I was preparing all the food for my dad at night. And then I started enjoying it. So it was kind of funny that, you know, here I am in 9th grade. You know, my mom's gone for 4 months. So my entire summer while all the other kids, now this is obviously pre-Instagram and TikTok. Could you imagine telling a kid today that you're going to stay home and cook? I guess now my business mind, I would have had a TikTok show on cooking.
Hell yes, you would.
That's right, you would.
In 9th grade. And I would probably would have made money. But yeah, that's where I learned. And then my dad, you know, also helped me. And then my uncle has been in the restaurant and catering business. I actually enjoy cooking. I find it therapeutic. As long as I'm not trying to like be forced to cook like for like 50 people.
Yeah.
You know, 10 and under, I'm in my comfort zone. You get past that, then I start doing stuff in masses like ribs or something like that because
yeah,
I don't want to be in the kitchen all day.
Gosh, I admire a good cook because I am a horrid cook, and it frustrates me because I'm so bad. I mean, it's where it's therapeutic for you. I'm be throwing pots and pans because my cookies are all smashed. But I admire people because I do think it's a skill, and I think it's an art too, and I don't have it.
I like it. I'm not a good baker. So you said that. I don't even attempt baking. It doesn't mean I can't do it.
Yeah.
I try to stay away from like, because I have a huge sweet tooth and I've really learned how to like slow that down the last 5 years. And it's been great. But yeah, if my house started smelling like brownies and cookies, I'd be like 700 pounds. I don't know when to hit the stop button. That's my problem.
Yeah.
Well, we're talking with Ham from Route 66 Cannabis. You guys have arguably one of the best top dispensaries in the state of Missouri. You've been super successful. You had a plan in place for many years to make sure that this happened. Right now, you have 5 stores throughout the St. Louis metropolitan area. We've talked about the latest one being in the Manchester area, on Manchester and DePere, as a matter of fact, near Highway 270. When we talk about these prices and things that are going on, do you feel inflation running your business? Because you've got not only the prices of things, and you can't really work with a lot of the margins that you have in the cannabis industry. And then you have your staff on top of that, which you brought up, which made me think, oh my God, because everybody wants to get paid more on top of it as well. How is that affecting your business right now?
So we were very blessed when we started this business. Price that had already like wages were already up. So we had already factored that all into it. Right. And then there was a supply and demand issue. The price of flour when it first came out was $4,000 a pound. I mean, that's crazy, right?
What?
You're down to $1,800 to $2,000 a pound wholesale now, maybe even lower than that. I haven't checked recently. So that the prices have come down. So like we've actually brought a lot of our prices down in the last year, right? Just so we're more competitive with the market, plus on our wholesale side. But the nice thing is when you're growing it yourself and, we're using natural sunlight and I'm not using chemicals, right?
Do people, I'm going to stop
which
you
I
right
always
there.
laugh about that.
Do a lot of people do a lot of companies use chemicals to grow their cannabis?
I can't answer that for them. I don't know what they do. I just know we don't use.
Have you ever heard of that, Joe?
I was curious as well.
Oh, okay.
I mean, to be honest with you, I've never.
We use like natural stuff, right? Like coconut shavings and all these other things that we use in the soil, right? But when you like on our like gummies, which I want to talk about, I brought some samples to kind of show when we are using like the natural sunlight, right? And that's what that whole idea of the outdoor greenhouses were. It really reduces the cost, right? And I always laugh when someone says it's organic, right? But the price is double. If it's organic and you're using less things to grow it, why is it more expensive?
Oh, what a great point.
Mm-hmm.
So what are they doing, in our country? They pull on your heartstrings because they want you to think like you don't want to get cancer. You don't want to have like, you don't know what's in it. So let me sell you this bell pepper that was grown naturally, but we're going to charge you double.
That's crazy.
When I was in St. Bart's, first of all, pretty much everything is organic. So they don't even promote the word organic, right? And everything was so much cheaper. I mean, people say St. Bart's is very expensive. Yes, if you're going to go to the clubs, guess what? So is Vegas. So is New York, right? Yes, you got it, right? Like they're charging you like triple for the same drink. But when you go to the grocery store and you want to buy limes and lemons and peppers and stuff, I mean, it's very reasonable. It's just grown.
That is insane to think how this stuff has happened. My gosh. Well, yeah, people
just
people said they'd never heard of that.
Yeah.
I mean, that totally makes sense. It's not like that's all it means, organic.
So think of it this way. I mean, this is very simple.
So you've got organic weed.
Well, yeah, to the point. I mean, we don't promote it like that because there's nothing in it.
I
like
know.
that. But think about it this way.
Stupid.
If you guys had a little garden in your backyard and you grew cucumbers and carrots naturally without Miracle Grow and all that, which you shouldn't be doing. If anyone's putting Miracle Grow at home, I mean, why? Stop that.
Yeah, stop doing that.
But what's the cost of that? It's just a few seeds. Mm-hmm. Next thing you know, you've got cucumbers and tomatoes. Like, it's not that hard, guys.
Yeah.
It just isn't.
Damn, talking with Ham, getting all kinds of evidence of
it's just common
health.
sense.
Yeah, it is common sense, but a lot of times we're so fast-tracked and we have a single mind and we're not thinking about these other issues.
Playing with your emotions. You go to the store and you're like, I'm trying to eat healthier and this probably doesn't have all that junk in it. And who's to say half that stuff's even really organic?
Correct.
Who's monitoring that?
I have heard that too.
Yeah, I've heard a lot of it isn't.
But they have stickers that they'll put on issues.
I have stickers at the dispensary that says you're cool. I mean, that doesn't mean anything.
You can put stickers on anything.
I want one of those.
And we
put a sticker on anything.
That's right.
God love you guys. You're like, there's a sticker on it. Oh,
hey, what's
there's evidence right there?
And I'm going to pay $350 more for that orange with the sticker on it.
The organic situation.
I love when they say the meat's been grass fed. Well, what the heck was this thing eating before?
Right, right.
Like nails?
Feed.
Right.
They get
all the hormones and stuff. They should be talking about like
yes.
what's not in it, not because it ate grass.
Uh-huh.
Well, what's in the grass? That's my point. Like, how did you grow the grass?
That's right.
That's funny.
Don't even get me started on this.
And of course, organic always costs more.
Always.
And it's natural.
Yeah.
No, they get fed grain. They do. Glenn's right. That's what I was just talking about.
I hear you.
And
but what's in the grain? What's in the grass?
A bunch
right?
of bad stuff.
No one's ever going to tell you.
Right. They're not going to tell you. And
that's why I like going to like local farmers that are like
right.
butchering their own meat. And I know some people that do it. Then you really know what's in it, right? But that's the problem. If you really pay attention, what's been happening over the last 10 to 15 years, at least that I know of, the government's been buying your farms, and so is like China, right?
Mm-hmm.
They're controlling all of that. Not to get off subject, but that's a fact.
No, you are. I mean, you got to be careful about anything, and kind of being back on subject with that. Saw another report just last week. Another person, a high school student, got a hold of some cannabis, some weed. It was laced fentanyl. Died. Once again, this stuff continues to freaking happen when kids are experimenting and they're going and, oh yeah, well, I got it from this guy and that guy and that guy, instead of doing it the right way if they're going to quote use it. And I know you see these stories all the time.
I do.
And there's a reason why your store is so damn successful and why cannabis was so huge in the state of Missouri.
Peace of mind. I mean, it's first of all, if you're a kid, what are you doing? But that now you're getting into parents where that.
But a lot of kids are experimenting with weed and marijuana in high school, though. It's a fact. And the vape pens.
Yeah. And juuling and alcohol and cocaine and meth and all the other things that are happening in our school systems. And
that's right.
Like I always say, it always starts at home, guys.
Yeah, it always starts at home.
They don't just get these crazy ideas. Yeah.
That's right.
Go check your kids' rooms. You'd be surprised what's in there. I check mine.
That's right. That is really good advice. When your kids go to school, go into their room and look in all their drawers, look at all of their stuff. And I know so many parents are like, that's an invasion of their privacy.
No, it's not.
I'm like, well, you are the one that pays for them to live there. You have a right to
their
go in the
backpacks
room,
when they get
check
home.
everything.
What do your daughters feel about the company that you own? Do they try to? Do they want to? Do they want to try? Do they have desires? Things from that standpoint? Because you don't use a lot.
No. They know I take sleep gummies. They know I obviously own a cannabis company. We don't like talk about it at the dinner table. My 15-year-old, obviously, she goes to all girls Catholic school and she's a competitive swimmer. So like that's the last thing on her mind, right? And we do a lot of talking, right? And yeah, of course, they have their moments like, that party I had and she was freaked out because she knew like that wasn't her, but it's still her responsibility.
Right.
19-year-old's a different story because she's in college and in sorority at a party school. Now, they drink. That's going to happen. I mean, you're not going to avoid it. But she recently started trying my star tabs for her. She has anxiety a little bit for like studying. And she would take like 2.5 to 5 milligrams like ahead of time. And she finds it very helpful where it calms her down, where she can actually relax and focus. I'd rather her do that than have prescriptions to Adderall or other drugs.
Yeah, good point.
Right?
Good point.
That's so when she came to me, it was like, I have this, anxiety. And I was like, and I brought some of these star tabs. I was going to show it to you guys what they look like.
Do you have them now? Yeah.
Right there.
Go ahead and
So,
show. Oh yeah.
I opened this ahead of time.
You hold those up.
So
and
this
show
is,
people.
there it is. So these are non-medicated. So if you want to open yours up and you guys can try it. And these are samples, just so you know, there's nothing in it.
Right. It says it does not contain
contain.
THC.
Yes. And they're different colors. So here's this is what they look like. Right? Look at that.
Looks
What
like
do
a
you
Flintstone
have?
vitamin.
Yeah, I've got a.
You got a big one. I've got a little one that looks like a Pez.
No. You opened the wrong one.
Oh.
Yeah, you opened the gummy, bud.
Oh, I did.
Yeah.
Oh,
Don't be misadvertising for me.
Oh, I see. This is not a tab. That's a gummy.
Yeah. These are the little star tabs.
Right.
So open those up, and they're all different colors. Right.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So different flavors, and you could pop one in, try a different flavor, right? Non-medicated.
I have the gummies. I don't have the tabs.
It's right there.
Oh, okay. Yeah, she's got.
There you go.
Yeah. So we'll get to the gummies here in a second. I want your audience to know what they look like. And so these are 5 milligrams. This is really for microdosing.
5 milligrams of THC
in one of those.
And this is what this.
That doesn't have it in it.
Yeah, I know, but
I wouldn't get you guys high on the show.
But this is like what you said you have, like your daughter would use, or somebody who's
correct.
trying to
It's
deal with
just enough
anxiety.
THC to just kind of relax you. It's not going to get you blitzed out of your mind. Like I know I always joke on the show, like where you go inside the fridge and eat everything. Believe it or not, these right here have become a hot seller to soccer moms.
Oh yeah, I can see that.
So they're on the
tabs.
sidelines. Yeah, the tabs, because it's equivalent to 1.5 glasses of wine, right? So they're watching their kids on a cold day. It's windy. They don't want to bust out the wine because sometimes it can be frowned upon. It's very discreet. They keep it in their purse. So a lot of people, what they'll do is they'll buy this. They'll just put it like in a little container. Nobody would know, right? They know. And they just pop one of these, 30 minutes before the game, and they're just relaxed, right?
That's for, and Jeannie was like, that's for anxiety? Question.
Yeah, a lot of
mark?
people take
Yeah.
it for anxiety. Yeah, absolutely. They just take it, and it's just very. Now, if you ate the whole container and you have 25 milligrams, yes, but we explained that. The butt tenders explained. Don't This isn't like,
Don't
you
eat
know,
the whole
this
container
isn't
like a
Tic Tacs.
Pez.
This isn't to freshen your breath, right? So it just depends on your tolerance. Now, the next thing I have here is these are samples again. I brought these for you guys.
Okay.
So these are the gummies. This is what all of our gummies look like, right? And whether it's the rest gummy, if it's the so that's just one color, one flavor, right? So what happens is, so we'll let you show it. So you just pop one of those in. Those usually start at 10 milligrams and up, right? So there's a high dosage. So let's just say that's a 10. So you can go and eat it if you want, Vic.
Okay. So this, like a full gummy would be 10.
A full gummy would be 10. So like if it's a rise gummy, which is an upper, for me, I have very low tolerance because I'm just not a huge cannabis.
What are you laughing at me for, Joe?
Because I can tell you're reluctant. You're like, oh my God, am I
Oh,
gonna get
no.
high?
No, it's not I would never do
Not that, meaning like, because I always talk about eating on camera. That's
Oh,
why
okay, I
It's
got you.
more
All
about
right.
eating the way his
Okay.
mouth looks like
I
when he's
misunderstood.
chewing.
Yeah.
So
before I put anything in my mouth on camera, I've always said there's a way to do
Cam,
it.
if you ever want a lesson on how to eat on camera, Vic's your guy. He will teach you how.
I saw he was letting it melt in there at first. I was like, what's he doing over there?
Yeah, he has a certain way of people look awful when they eat on camera.
So they're
the
usually
Vic-
10 milligrams. We have the high dosage ones too. But like if it's a rise gummy, right, which is an upper, and I just kind of want to just have a little bit of energy and get like a little bit of a high, I usually cut it in half or I'll bite it in half. So I just take 5. But that's because I have a low tolerance, which is funny because I've just never had, I never consumed cannabis until I started this company, and I still don't use it on a daily basis. It's just, I'm still learning my way around. For people that are like connoisseurs to cannabis, they're asking for high dosage. They'll pop 2 or 3 of these at a time.
No, one of our viewers says your ideas are brilliant. What you guys have.
Oh, thank you.
Brilliant.
Appreciate it. But if it's the rest gummy that I talk about all the time, I take a full one, which is, they just look the same. They're just dosed differently. I mean, they have different things in it. I take a full one at night. Anywhere from 30 to 45 minutes before bed is what I prefer.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'm in a deep sleep, right? But that's what I do. Like, not everyone is different. Some people, most people will just take one rest gummy. I've yet to hear someone's like, I have to pop 3 or 4, right? But on the uppers, that's just, I'm just a half guy. That's just me.
Anything new happening with the business before we let you go today regarding anything in the last week? Ideas coming down the pipeline, sales. What's the latest?
So the latest is our indoor grow has done very well. Our Cubana line, which I'll bring that on the show next time.
Yeah, we've been talking about the Cubana line every day. We got some questions.
Yeah, it's very well received. The Cubana line is very well received, and I have created a strand.
Hello,
and it's called Poppy Ham.
Poppy Ham.
Yes.
That almost sounds like a preschool. Poppy Ham.
Yeah,
We're gonna
Poppy
go to
Ham.
Poppy
I
Ham
wanted to kind of
preschool.
go with this OG, like old school stuff. And Poppy Ham will be out soon. It's been in testing. It's been in development. I worked with a few people on these seeds, and it's going to be an upper, and it's testing over 30% THC. So it's going to be very strong for people that really enjoy the stronger cannabis. That's going to be their thing. Plus, it was always a dream of mine to have a strand named after me, because then it's public, right, in the world of cannabis. So that's new. I have been, and it's going to be PAPI.
Oh, I spelled that
right. Yeah, PAPI.
Sounds like a Dr. Seuss children's book.
Yeah,
Right.
well, let's not cross-reference into that world. But I've also been quietly looking to see if I can expand the business and acquire. So I would love to find a way, which I have some opportunities to buy a few dispensaries that maybe are not doing as well, and seeing if we can maybe buy them and turn them around or relocate them into a better location. So we're just kind of finally in that growth mode. But, as you've heard me say on this show, we like to do it in very small increments. I don't want to grow it so fast where then I'm putting people at risk when it comes to jobs or finances. So I'm still, as risky as this industry is, and I got into it, I'm still conservative when it comes to building the business, because having people have jobs is more important to me than saying I own a whole bunch of dispensaries.
And you've got 5 locations throughout the St. Louis metropolitan area. Literally check it out. You've got it, Route 66 cannabis. I mean, the products are kicking butt all over the place. Route66cannabis.com. You're on Instagram as well, Route66cannabis.com, at Route66canna, and at Ostara Cannabis, all on Instagram. By the way, are you still looking for employees, or are you pretty good from that standpoint?
No, we're always looking for people as we grow in business. And so, yeah, I mean, you can just go to our website, apply there. We're always looking for bud tenders. A lot of our bud tenders eventually grow into management positions, especially if we're going to expand. Also, we have our St. Patty's Parade coming up in Dogtown. That's a pretty big event. So if you happen to be around Dogtown, come visit us, say hi. And also, if you download our Route 66 app, I don't advertise it on what the prize is on Instagram, because Instagram can be a little tricky. But if you download our app and you go into our store and show that you've downloaded our app because it's tied to your phone number, you get a free pre-roll.
Oh, wow. There you go. That's a big deal. And when
Yeah,
Joe
so we're
shakes
trying to
his
build
head-
up our audience. It's funny because, and I'll leave you with this. I know we're crunched on time. So my 15-year-old, she's the most conservative spender, which I love. Thank God, you know.
That's awesome.
And she overheard me having this conversation on the phone. She's like, "That's a dumb business idea. You're just giving away pre-rolls. Like you're just losing money." And I had to explain to her, I'm trying to increase our visibility and market share on the app,
Yeah.
which then eventually makes money. So she's right. Yeah, we're not making money. We're just giving away free product. But what I'm trying to do is, if I get more and more people on the app, they can see all the specials that are coming up, the deals, and also new products. So it's like every other app, right? So there is a madness behind it. There's a little bit of an investment, but that's how I look at it. I'm investing into my business, but I find it funny that the 15-year-old tells me that I'm an idiot.
So you've trained one well, Ham. You have done well. By the way, if you go to Route 66 Cannabis, let them know that you're there for the first time. You'll get a discount. And who doesn't want a discount on some of the best products that you're going to find anywhere? Ham, thanks for joining us today, buddy.
Yeah,
it's always
good
fun to
seeing
talk
you.
to you. You never know what we're going to get into, or
You never know.
the life lessons. I'm taking away the organic situation today. I will never look at organic again because I've never really thought about that. Like a dummy. Ham,
It's true.
welcome everybody.
Not you being a dummy, just organic stuff.
Have a great day, my friend.
Yeah, thanks, guys.
Once again, check them out. Route 66 Cannabis. We love it when Ham comes around. This is cancelthisshow.com. Vic Faust, Lizzie Sparks, Pro Joe in the house as well, as we continue to move on with the show. Happy Wednesday to everybody. March 13th. This is the fastest 2 hours in podcasting, and we appreciate everybody joining us today. I mean, we've just got all. Do we have anybody booked yet for tomorrow, for Thursday? I'm trying to even. Oh, Nicole.
Nicole.
My gosh, I know we got people every day. Nicole Jenkins has a story about the inner city of St. Louis. There's a it's a convenience store, like a Walmart type, not a Walmart, but like a Walgreens type of, where a lot of bad stuff has happened and it needs to go. And it's near and dear to her heart because she grew up there. Also talking about some election stuff. She's been traveling a bunch and talking, obviously, with Turning Point USA, the conservative talking group all over America. She's been traveling with them. So Nicole will join us at 9:30 tomorrow. And we'll see what else happens. There's just so much always going on. Of course, that's what we'll do. I can't remember if there were any other updates that we needed to give. Can you remember or think of anything, Lizzie, before we get out of here today?
No, but we'll have to give an update tomorrow. As a couple people are asking, and a lot of people already know the answer to it, is there's a Republican that's stepping out of his position, making Republicans have only one vote extra.
I don't. What do you? I don't
know.
understand.
I don't know. I don't know. I just know that they're saying it. I need to research that more. I don't remember if it's in the House or the Senate.
Oh, okay.
It's in the House or the Senate, and that's why I didn't go. It's either in the House or the Senate.
And the judge in Georgia has dismissed some of the charges against Donald Trump this morning in the Fani Willis case, but others still remain. And of course, they'll drag that out as long as they possibly can.
And of course, our listeners are coming to my aid. It's Congressman Ken Buck from Colorado that got his. I know what happened. He says no one's listening to him, and he got all butthurt, and so he's leaving, and it's going to put the Republican Party in quite.
Oh, he's retiring, isn't he, or leaving, or
he's quitting because he's pissed.
Yeah, I saw that, and
he really said because nobody listens to me.
Yeah, I wouldn't be.
Stepping down immediate.
I wouldn't be shocked if he was paid.
Oh, you know that's right. You know that's right.
Because you're going to see a lot of these things happen.
Mhm.
I mean, even if Donald Trump were to have an election and were to win, if the Democrats could somehow finagle their way and
Mhm.
have control of the Senate and the House, it would make life much more difficult for Donald Trump.
Yeah, I believe it's in the House. I believe it's in the House.
You know, and that's what we got. So
Mhm.
anyway, we appreciate you guys joining us every single day as you do. Stepping down immediately. Yeah, we'll see where that goes. So we'll say that does it for the fastest 2 hours in podcasting for Pro Joe and Lizzie Sparks. I'm Vic Faust. Have a great day. We'll see you next time for Cancel This.